Good day, learners. Welcome to our day one. Subtracting three-digit numbers with zero in the ones or tens place. Solve in your Show Me boards. What operation do we use when we take away or find the difference? The answer is subtraction. What are the parts of a subtraction sentence? The parts are minuend, subtrahend, and difference. Lisa had 500 apples in baskets. She sold 230 apples. How many apples are left? What information is given? Answer: had 500 apples, sold 230 apples. What do we need to find? Answer: how many apples are left? What operation will we use? Answer: subtraction. Do you think we will regroup? Let's find out. When subtracting numbers that have zero in the ones or tens place, we may need to regroup or borrow from the next higher place value. 500 minus 230 is equals to 0 minus 0 is equals to 0. 3 minus 0 is cannot be. That's why we need to borrow 1 from 5. The 5 will become 4 and the 0 will become 10. 3 minus 10 is equals to 7. 2 minus 4 is equals to 2. 270 is our difference. Example 1. With 0 in the ones place. 640 minus 325. 5 minus 0 is cannot be. That's why we will borrow 1 from 4. 4 will become 3 and 0 will become 10. 5 minus 10 is equals to 5. 2 minus 3 is equals to 1. 3 minus 6 is equals to 3. 315 is our difference. Example 2. With 0 in the tens place. 600 minus 230. 0 minus 0 is equals to 0. 3 minus 0 is cannot be. That's why we will borrow 1 from 6. 6 will become now 5 and 0 will become 10. 3 minus 10 is equals to 7. 2 minus 5 is equals to 3. 370 is our difference. Example 3. With 0 in both tens and ones place. 800 minus 256. 6 minus 0 is cannot be. That's why we need to borrow from tens place. But tens place is also 0. That's why we will borrow 100 from 8. 8 will become 7 and 0 will become 10. 6 minus 0 is cannot be. That's why we will borrow 1 from 10. 10 will become 9 and 0 will become 10. 6 minus 10 is equals to 4. 5 minus 9 is equals to 4. 2 minus 7 is equals to 5. 544 is our difference. What should we do when the number we are subtracting from has 0 in the ones or tens place? Answer: we need to regroup or borrow from the next higher place value. What is important to remember when subtracting numbers with zeros? Answer: always borrow carefully and line up numbers correctly. Let's try this. Solve the following subtraction problem. Always remember, line up digits according to place value. Start subtracting from the ones place. Regroup if the top digit is smaller than the bottom digit. Check your work carefully. Welcome to our day 2. Subtracting 3-digit numbers with or without regrouping. With or without 0. Solve in your Show Me boards. There were 800 mangoes in a basket. The vendor sold 346. How many mangoes are left? What information is given? Answer: 800 mangoes in the basket. He sold 346. What do we need to find? Answer: how many mangoes are left? What operation will we use? Answer: subtraction. We can subtract 3-digit numbers with or without regrouping, even if there are zeros in the tens or ones place. Example 1. Without regrouping. 543 minus 422. 2 minus 3 is equals to 1. 2 minus 4 is equals to 2. 4 minus 5 is equals to 1. 121 is our answer. Example 2. With regrouping. 632 minus 418. 8 minus 2 is cannot be. That's why we need to borrow 1 from 3. 3 will become 2 and 2 will become 12. 8 minus 12 is equals to 4. 1 minus 2 is equals to 1. And 4 minus 6 is equals to 2. 214 is our difference. Example 3. With 0 in the ones place. 640 minus 325. 5 minus 0 is cannot be. That's why we will borrow 1 from 4. 4 will become 3 and 0 will become 10. 5 minus 10 is equals to 5. 2 minus 3 is equals to 1. And 3 minus 6 is equals to 3. 315 is our difference. Example 4. With 0 in the tens place. 600 minus 230. 0 minus 0 is equals to 0. 3 minus 0 is cannot be. That's why we need to borrow 1 from 6. 6 will become 5 and 0 will become 10. 3 minus 10 is equals to 7. And 2 minus 5 is equals to 3. 370 is our difference. What should you do when the number on top is smaller than the number below it? Answer: borrow or regroup from the next place value. What should you do if there is 0 in the ones or tens place? Answer: borrow from the next higher place value carefully. Let's try this. Solve the following subtraction problem. Always remember, line up digits according to place value. Start subtracting from the ones place. Regroup or borrow when needed. Write numbers neatly and check your work. Welcome to our day 3. Solving one-step problems involving subtraction with or without regrouping, including money. Lisa had 500 pesos. She bought a new bag for 275 pesos. How much money does she have left? What information is given? Answer: Lisa had 500 pesos and she bought a new bag for 275 pesos. What do we need to find? Answer: how much money does she have left? What operation will we use? Answer: subtraction. This is an example of a subtraction word problem. When solving word problems, remember the steps. Understand the problem. What is asked? What are the given facts? Plan. What operation will you use? Solve. Show your solution and compute. Check, is your answer correct? Example 1 without regrouping. Anna has 825 pesos. She bought a toy for 312 pesos. How much money is left? 825 minus 312. 2 minus 5 is equals to 3. 1 minus 2 is equals to 1. And 3 minus 8 is equals to 5. 513 is our difference. Example 2 with regrouping. A box contains 632 pencils. If 418 pencils were used, how many are left? 632 minus 418. 8 minus 2 is cannot be. That's why we need to borrow 1 from 3. 3 will become 2 and 2 will become 12. 8 minus 12 is equals to 4. 1 minus 2 is equals to 1. And 4 minus 6 is equals to 2. 214 is our difference. When do we use subtraction in our daily life? When buying things. When counting remaining school supplies. When knowing what's left after giving or spending. Let's try this. Solve the following subtraction problem. There were 650 students in the morning. In the afternoon, 324 went home. How many are still in school? A vendor had 725 pesos. After buying fruits for 248 pesos, how much money remained? A store had 800 candies. 476 candies were sold. How many candies are left? Welcome to our day 4. Solving two-step word problems involving subtraction, with or without regrouping, including money. Lisa had 900 pesos. She bought a bag for 325 pesos and a pair of shoes for 248 pesos. How much money does she have left? Step 1. Understand. Given 900 pesos, 325 pesos, 248 pesos. What is asked? How much money is left? Operations, addition, and subtraction. Step 2. Plan and solve. First, add 325 and 248. The total spent is 573 pesos. Then subtract 900 from 573 pesos. The total is 327 pesos. There were 850 mangoes in a box. 325 were sold in the morning and 218 in the afternoon. How many mangoes were left? Step 1. Understand. Given 850, 325, and 218. What is asked? How many mangoes were left? Operations, addition, and subtraction. Step 2. Plan and solve. First, add 325 and 218. Total sold is 543. Then subtract 850 and 543. The difference is 307. Always remember, read the problem carefully. Identify what is asked and what is given. Determine how many operations are needed. And solve step by step and check your work. Let's try this. Solve the following subtraction problem. A bakery baked 900 pieces of bread. It sold 375 in the morning and 468 in the afternoon. How many breads are left? A class collected 800 pesos for a trip. They spent 285 pesos for snacks and 345 pesos for bus fare. How much money is left? There were 950 apples. 428 were used to make juice and 347 were sold. How many apples remain? Thank you for watching. Till our next mathematics lesson. Goodbye.